Another round of snow coming for the Upper Peninsula. This will last March 10th into the 11th, and yeah, some areas could go up to 6 to 9 inches, maybe even a little bit more in some of those higher elevations. But either way, definitely probably going to give those people that want the winter sports another ride in there, another ski down the hill, things like that. Now, the other problem is we're going to have freezing rain across northern lower Michigan. Notice awfully close to the areas that were hardest hit by the ice storm last year in March into early April. Thankfully, though, this is not the same situation. We are going to expect up to a quarter inch of ice, so we might have a couple small tree branches come down, maybe a few localized power outages, and driving conditions are really not going to be that good, but at least it's not like what we were seeing last year. Now, this is starting at 6 p.m. Tuesday. Notice we're not seeing a whole lot really as of yet. We'll have some snow coming down across the Upper Peninsula, perhaps right through the Straits, Escanaba, down to the south. I wouldn't be surprised if a few hit or miss showers are starting to come in, but really a lot of the thunderstorm activity is going to hold off until just a little bit later on. So, what we're going to see as we go through the evening, this is 9 p.m. Tuesday evening, we are really starting to see those thunderstorms develop. And these are the ones with that severe potential, dropping everything from the possibility of heavy rain to damaging winds, large hail, and the possibility for an isolated tornado. Now, notice off to the north, that's where the pink is showing up, indicating that freezing rain. Again, this is all at 9 p.m. Tuesday evening. Going forward a little further by 11 p.m. into midnight, you can see we have really a whole kind of pseudo line of storms developing along a front lifting up as a warm front, and that is going to give us that possibility for some of those things to really spin as well. Now, that's also dropping heavy rain. That's all along the I-94 corridor, and this is at midnight into early Wednesday morning. Freezing rain still ongoing across northern lower into central Michigan, and we still have the snow across the upper peninsula. Over the next couple of hours, 2 o'clock in the morning, you can see that severe weather threat ongoing down to the south with just kind of a really messy, hot mess going on across northern lower between sleet, freezing rain, and the possibility for some snow mixing in there. Now, even toward 4 o'clock in the morning into your Wednesday, we are still seeing those strong thunderstorms possible down to the south. And as we keep going further, you'll see that that heavier rain continues to start to move over to the east, but also we're not quite done. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon for your Wednesday. Still have the possibility for some freezing rain to the north, heavier rain down to the south, and snow starting to creep a little further south on the backside of the storm system before it swings all the way through. So here's the possibility for severe weather. This is called the Severe Weather Outlook issued by the Storm Prediction Center, and they have a scale of 1 to 5. Green is a 1, that's called a marginal risk, so 1 out of 5 on the scale. We go up from there. Yellow is a slight risk, that is a 2 out of 5 on the scale, and then we go up from there even more to what we call an enhanced risk. That is a 3 out of 5 on the scale, so way down to the south in Indiana, and the extreme southwestern corner part of the state has the highest possibility for severe storms. Now, I want to get nice and close on this part because this is specifically just the tornado outlook as we go throughout Tuesday night into very early Wednesday. Now, this looks a little different this year because we got a couple more things going on. It's not just a percent chance of a tornado, it's also what is the intensity level of that tornado. So kind of two things here. So risk wise, we go up as we go down to the southwest. So we got green, which is a 2%. You can see the brown indicating a 5% and the yellow indicating a 10% chance. But then you see this kind of other thing going on here, the intensity level. That is on a scale from 1 to 3. And I know this might take some getting used to, but it does help a little bit. So we're looking at a level 1 possibility here in terms of intensity. So a low chance of low intensity tornadoes is another really great way to convey it. Now, obviously, we did have that positive, the odds were really just defied as we went through the other day with that EF3 going through areas of Union City, EF2 and 3 Rivers, Edwardsburg. However, most of the chances are for weaker tornadoes, but that just goes to prove what the percent chance is, right? It says EF2 possible around a 20% chance. So therefore, there is that small chance that it could be that or a little higher, but most of them should be lower than that if they are to materialize at all. Then we get into the wind threat. Now, this is just straight line winds coming out of a thunderstorm, a Boeing segment coming through, things like that. We have the lower chances across central Michigan into the lower thumb region, southeast Michigan, coming in at about a 5% chance, part of that marginal risk. You can see the wind risk, though, increasing for areas from Grand Rapids to Lansing, Ann Arbor, and Point Southwest, which includes Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Jackson, over towards St. Joseph, Benton Harbor, and Holland. Now that indicates the slight risk that we saw earlier in the categorical outlook. Lastly, we have the hail outlook. So this is just for the possibility for hail. Now, severe hail is 1 inch in diameter or larger, but we start getting into that intensity thing again, right? On the scale of 1 to 3, it's not just the percent chance of hail, it's the percent chance of how intense are we talking here, right? So we have obviously chances increasing down to the southwest where we get into the red, but we have that 5% chance there and goes up to 15, which is definitely possible. That means an isolated storm or two across the area will likely have some large hail. But then we get into that intensity, and notice this is the supercell environment that we're talking about, indicated by the notes there. So hail could be 2 inches in diameter or larger, which is pretty big. A tennis ball is 2.5, so we're just shy of that, but it is rather large hail. And then down to the southwest, you can see we get up into the 30% chance, which does include the extreme southwestern portion of the state, getting down toward Michigan City, South Bend. So again, a lot to watch out for here, but that's how it's broken down for you. And of course, we will have updates as we go throughout the evening, but one thing that you can do is make sure you have a way to get weather information, whether it's on your cell phone, if you have a NOAA weather radio, that is really good, or if you have any apps downloaded on your phone, make sure that they are set to alert you if a warning comes in your area. Have your location turned on for those apps as well, and then only if you're in the warning will the app make a noise, and that's the same thing with your cell phone as well. Do not rely on outdoor sirens to wake you up while you're sleeping. That is not what they were designed for in the first place, and that is not an option to keep you safe during overnight severe weather. Of course, I will be tracking it for you. I'll have plenty of updates coming your way. Thanks for watching.